Okay, so little recap here. All right, this is actually round 2, so apologies for any confusion out there if you guys been following everything and you just saw a bunch of round 3s. But we actually have the round 3s for Bro and Villese, respectively, coming within the next few days. We're trying to be as accommodating as possible to get all the best players involved in the event and to get the games done. We have Bruh, who won 2-1 over Yo. My prediction was that Bruh would get swept by Yo 3-0. Feels like a long time ago now because we've been doing so many games, but he did win 2-1 versus the Chinese pro, who many people think are in the top 5. And so with that said, I would probably also say 3-0 for Villese, to be honest with you. I have that much faith in Villese. He is a really good player, but I don't know what to say now because of that first week result. So, it was only one round for both of them. Bro went up 2-1. Villese, he won 3-0 versus Barles. But Villese does have to be careful because Villese was, oh God, you're kidding me. There you go. Villese is actually pretty close to losing a couple of those games versus Barles. Hindustanis for Villese. Strong civilization, Chinese as well. Both of these civilizations stacked. If there are no changes to any of the civs that we've seen as strong in this league, there might be a patch in a month or so. Who knows? But let's just say there's no changes ever to these civilizations. I think that Hindustanis, Chinese, Gurjaras, Aztecs, Mayans, they're all like super, super strong S tier Arabia civilizations. And this is actually Arabia for game 1, if you didn't already notice that. Villese trying to lame here. Chinese will struggle if they lose access to some of their food, but hasn't had the most success with that. He might need to come home and find some of his resources here. So far, so good for Bruh. Somebody said, who is Bruh? Well, he's a Brazilian player. He obviously signed up for this event, has actually had some really good runs. Not so much over the last 6 months, maybe a couple months prior. And he's been around a long time, like all these players have. I think he was like 21st or 22nd. I don't know. Of all the signups, we used ATP rankings, so it ranked off of tournament results. And he was very close. He was right on the edge of being in Platinum or Gold, right? And he made it into Platinum, and so far he's deserved it. 1-2-1 against Yo, so... but yeah, this guy's been around a very long time. Actually has a pretty big history with deathmatch, too. I don't know if there's any deathmatchers out there where you start and post him. If I were to describe his style, I would say he tends to be more of a macro player. He's not quite as technical with the small little movements like Villese may be. So if this becomes an Archer war, I would probably prefer Villese. We'll see if that happens in this matchup here. Yeah, he's one of many really good Brazilian players, right? So think of Platinum League. You've got Bro, you've got Miguel, you've got Dogal, and I don't think I'm missing anybody. And then in Gold League, the league below this, you have Fire. Who else is from Brazil? Stark. There's still, I could list off other names like Riot if he's playing. Even from 2K up, Brazil has so many. But I think there's only 5 in the top 48 right now, though that feels very low. Brazil tends to be stacked with names. Finland, a much smaller country than Brazil, tends to be stacked with names as well. However, we did not have Rubenstock sign up at all for this league. He will not participate in Gold. And then Villese is the only Finnish guy in Platinum because Max didn't sign up. And I think if Max would have signed up, his tournament results were so weak this year, he would have been in Gold as well. So kind of sad for the Finns to not see more. But there's always going to be more seasons, so they could work their way up the ranks. And we have both players going up to feudal age now with a small focus on walling here for Bro. As it always makes sense with the Chinese to protect yourself. Starting with more villagers, having cheaper technology is great civilization to have. And honestly, not a bad start considering that Vilese's scout is weak too. And I guess the risk here would be if Villese was going to go for man-at-arms or something that Bro would have to scout. But he's actually... Oh, he's so close. Yeah, he almost even saw the barracks there, but he's looking around right now to find the enemy. If those players signed up for next season, would they be on silver? So they would play through a silver qualifier. So what that means. So the way it works for Season 2, keep in mind, we may tweak it. Like, if prize pools get higher, I'd love for Silver to be a full-on league. It's more of like a big knockout bonanza bracket, you know? But yeah, so going into Season 2, let's say Max signs up. A month before Season 2 actually begins with Gold and Platinum, there'd be that big bracket we're talking about, and they would play through that. If they get top 8 in that, they qualify for Gold. And then they go. Then Gold happens soon after. If they advance up through Gold, then 6 months later, they're in the next season. All right. So scout play for both players. And I remember Bro playing against Yo when Yo was Mongols. And so Yo had the faster uptime, the faster scout production. And he looked so good. Now, he was also Gurjara's, so you do have to keep that in mind. But I don't think Chinese are realistically that far off from the Gurjaras in terms of strength on Arabia maps. I've been trying to be a little bit more even-keeled. Someone was maybe too aggressive with their tone on one of the comments, but someone made a fair point. One of my casts was like, listen, man, like, I think basically the line of thinking was, I think maybe the reason people are so extreme against Gurjara's Hindustanis is because it's new. It's like, let's take a look at Chinese for a second, you know? So I'm trying to tone down my my tone a little bit. But right now, Villese is doing the same exact thing. They have a lot of respect for each other. First game in the series, both players going scouts, and both players expecting the opponent to go scouts, and both players not wanting to take losses. And this is funny. Actually, Bro even pushes in another deer here. So, man, it's unfortunate. Does he not see this? Oh, he doesn't see the wood line. If he knew there was a wood line there, he probably would have just walled it off. Honestly, could have even made an argument for this. One of those things that you look at later on and you're like, what was I thinking? What are these walls, man? Well, no, I agree that Gurjaras need a nerf. I agree with you. But just stating that Chinese are pretty freaking strong as well and have been for many, many years. Hindustanis. I think they can play into camels for now, right? Having the cheaper vills with the Hindustanis. A civ with so many bonuses, but that's one of them that makes them strong at this stage of the game. If the opponent will go camels or knights or play out of anything from the stable, you can then most likely go for your camels, which attack faster. Les with clean eco so far, already on gold. I think this could lead into an archer range for him. And also might be a rare opportunity to see cav archers from the Hindustanis. But yeah, a lot less time spent walling here for Villese. Let's see, actually. I want to check the palisade amount. So we have 26. Obviously, some houses involved as well versus 52. And it's not so much the palisades as much as the villager time. All right. Blacksmith will go up. I doubt we're going to see a hole. It looks like there is, but there isn't. And I guess for Villese as well, he also produced one less scout. Yeah, Villese is going to click up much faster than Bro here. So Bro keeps himself protected, but if he would have just gone for the walls here towards the cliff, I think he would have liked the situation a lot more right now. And he's adding the range. No range for Villese. So the thing I think we'll see from Villese is he's going to play as standard, as meta as possible. That's typically how he plays. Very rarely he branches out from that. And if he ever branches out from that, it doesn't really look great. It doesn't suit him. And also, even though you know that Bro beat Yo 2-1, so you have that level of respect for him, like, wow, how did that happen? I think you have to try and get a feel for the game, right? And I think Villese is just going to play a simple game and see if he can take the guy or if Bro can take him with meta. Shows no hesitation here to just make a house. He actually did add another scout as he'll go over here to kill these scouts. And I think this is just going to be fighting for relics. Lots of booming. Bro added one single archer and is maybe thinking better of it. But as I say that, he makes the second archer and he clicks up. Yeah, probably a pretty good unit to have. the archers if you feel as though your stable units are going to be in trouble up against this Civ. Look at that from Villese. Actually, even sending the spearman out. Bro, noticing Villese now taking the fight against this spearman. Takes the fight, wins the fight. Great micro from both players, though. Only one unit lost, but both units running away with their scouts. But yeah, we have the monastery. We'll probably have the town center and just, again, come at me. What are you going to do about it? The only thing right now for Villese, though, is that he has not seen the crossbows. But I'm not a big fan of the mass that bro's going to have. Normally, you want to have 10, 15 crossbows in early Castle Age. I don't think he's going to have that. Villese does take... Oh, he takes a hit. Loses the scout. Actually, they both lost the scout in the same spot, I think. Obviously, the eco looking pretty good. All right. So this is basically an arena game right now. But one player going scouts for map control to get relics and adding the monastery and booming. Players were very quick to get the walls down here. Thing is, the Chinese started having a massive win rate only at high elo, proving you need skills to make them work. With Gurjaras, you just learn the build order and spam counters to everything your opponent does. Yeah, I agree with that statement. I think that's something you have to factor in to how a Civ is balanced. I think overall, you do want to balance games based on the high level. And then whatever happens at the lower elos happens. But I can agree that, you know, Gurjaras do seem to be a little bit stacked. But I don't know. Again, the Hindustanis, man, they've got a lot of bonuses to work with here. Villese is using them already. Cheaper Vills, it's unavoidable bonuses. Even easier to play the Hindustanis, right? Because your villagers are just cheaper. You don't have to do any work for that whatsoever. Chinese... Tough to get here, but in a good spot right now for Bros. He's going to go crossbows. And we are going to see a siege workshop for Villese, who is opened up with camels and monks. Again, just like, okay, I'm fine. 3 TCs. But I'm not so certain he can actually complete this siege workshop. It's an awkward spot to be at. Tries to get the the monk. Gets the monk, excuse me. Gets the villager now. And Villese has invited the pressure and is trying to boom like this is some type of arena map. But Monk has gone down. Also has lost the villager there, but still was faster to the TC, so should be able to catch up there. Interesting TC spot, because he could have gone for this stone, but he wants to protect this area. And while the timing wasn't perfect, he does have some scorpions now, which I think is also a great play. TC number 3 for Bruz. He looks to catch up. Hopefully this guy makes houses right now, because he's producing out of both ranges. He's producing out of his TCs, and yep, there's the houses. This was getting a little close for comfort. So once the Chinese players on archers, you're going to want stone in the long term for the Gulam. Sorry, I just blanked on the name for a second. Second villager goes down. KD is 4-4. And not the end of the world for Villese to lose those villagers, though, because he has so many already. As he's just going to bring these relics in right now. A little sloppy from Bro to have these weak scouts here and not having them patrol. Like, look at his vision. He didn't really use those effectively to stop those relics. I think he's going to regret that. Later on, you would think he regrets that. As we see light cav for Villese. Interesting move. I don't think there's any bonus for light cav against archers anymore, right? Before the Civ was Indians, and then they recently changed to the Hindustanis. Maybe he's just doing that for the relics, honestly. Again, Villese's approach just seems to just play as safe as possible and just see what this guy can do against him. This is the vision for Bruh, but what about the vision now for Villese? He can see most of this as well. He's going to get relic number 4 there. But yeah, most likely this is going to be booming up towards a castle for Villese. Both players have incredible economies right now, but we are going to see chain barding armor for Villese. Just in case. God, that is such a big, massive crossbows. Okay, what do you make against Gulam if you're Chinese? So here, let's play this fun game, okay? One makes Arbalest, other makes Gulam. Counter Gulam, you go champions. Counter champions, you go hand cannons. Now I'm stuck. Now I'm stuck. Because I guess to counter hand cannons, you could go skirms. But then the enemy has bombard cannon. And then the enemy has fully upgraded hussar. And then the enemy also is still going to have the Gulams. I think it's a timing thing here, guys. And we are going to see Bro try and hit the Imperial Age before we could see fully teched Hindustanis in the Imperial Age. Now, this is a problem. And this is not a problem that you would expect to be a problem. But, again, these camels, we talked about it a lot today. They destroy buildings faster as well. They've got all their bonuses. They attack faster now, and they still destroy buildings. So, Bro's under pressure, and he's on the way to Imp. But what this will allow Villese to do is actually to castle this hill or this hill wherever he wants to protect his resources. This is not easy to stop right now. Because there's siege, and there's camels, and there's light cav, and there's more on the way. Okay, so some monks could get conversions possibly. No ballistics yet, by the way, for Bro, but he'll be saving up for it, I'm sure. Just trying to hold. But I love the control for Villese considering the situation and how he wants... He's okay with this game going late due to his Civ's options. But also because he has the relics right now. And wow, he's got so much control, he's actually going to castle there. I don't like it. What about a castle here? Collect the stone and then get more castles? I feel like this doesn't protect that area of your eco and it doesn't protect this area of your eco, but whatever. What does this control? The flowers? I mean, that's cute. I don't know. Thumb ring, ballistics on the way for bruh. He will have to respect this, though. If he moves forward at all, Les is simply just going to run into his base. So he needs to probably push this back first and foremost. Siege shots happening. Good micro from Villese. Good micro from Bro, though. This is pre-imp, obviously, so he has to be careful. He's taking good fights, though. Fortunate to lose the siege there. And okay, now he's in the Imperial Age. Les is just now clicked up. Has a much healthier economy. This is some good pressure. Bracer's now on the way, so you're going to be thinking about something other, other than the siege, other than the stable units, probably switching into Gulam. Okay, this is an important moment. You see what I mean? Like, as Bro leaves his base, he realizes he has to return because he has to clear this. It's just enough where Villese can control it. And the longer that Bro has to stay here, the better it is for Villese. Yeah, that's a weird castle. Yeah, a castle here would be awesome. Or maybe here, just if you're worried about the Arbalest coming to your base right now. Siege getting taken care of. Arbalest will be in a second. And finally, Bro gets to breathe. 110 pop. Massive Arbalest army. Obviously, though, has taken kind of some tough losses to swallow here. Reacting, and oh my god, oh my god, he stole the freaking spot from him. He stole the spot from him. He says, my castle. Now again, imagine if you have a castle here. This is all fine. Here comes some Gulams, but these things are not fully upgraded yet. And Villese now backs away. That castle will go up for Bro. I love this castle. I do not understand this castle. I feel like if Villese would have had his castle in a different position, life would be so much easier for him right now. Also, these two light cav are getting kills, and it's really triggering me. Bro's finally going to kill them. But yeah, guys, he's got to push. They tried to build the castle in the exact same position. The funny thing is, Villese will, or Bro will never expect that there's a castle there. It's so weird. This castle is just to mass Gulams. And so, Bro expecting that is going to try and go into some cav. I also love the idea to Stonewall. Look, he's going to all the areas of importance with his army and never runs into the castle. Because it's just not a good castle to protect your resources. Now, it might not be to protect resources. It might simply to be for the Gulam production. They will have 8 Pierce armor which means that they will wreck the Arbalest. Here come a few Ghulams. They are now elite. And there's not a lot that the Hindustanis cannot counter. Easy clear up there from Villese as he can go back to the gold. But the correct move from Bruh to try and get the stable switch. I think my problem for him right now is he's been so focused on going Arbs, and he got hit earlier. He hasn't really been able to expand his eco enough to where I feel like he's going to have enough against Ghulams. He's really hesitant to move out too far. Because it's got real silent all of a sudden. Like Villese is just waiting to pounce. Love this castle, by the way. Also think this castle's good because you are worried that Villese might raid you. Need to wall over here, of course. Ghulams don't have a lot of melee armor. So I think having some light cav in the mix would be good. But I'm not sure if light cav alone is strong enough against the Ghulam. Because the Ghulam's HP and attack and how little the Arbalests are going to contribute. This needs to be dealt with fast. Should be okay. And now the most important moment in the game because Villese needs to defend his castle here. He'll run in with Ghulams to hit the Trebs. Feels like 2 Trebs might not be enough, though. And now the rest of the Ghulams come in. 1 Treb will go down. The Ghulams will run into Castle Fire. But now we're going to see both of these Trebuchets go down. And then look at the populations now. 150 to 130. Look at these Ghulams go. Guys, the Civ also gets fully upgraded Skirmisher. The Civ also gets Halb. The Civ also gets Imp Camel. Oh my god, what a unit. What insane civilization. Not even close. We will see a castle for Bro on the hill now as he'll try. Plenty of units in production, but what on earth do you make? And I think you would need to have Cavalier, which you can't justify because of there being camels already out there. And then I think you would have to have Champion, which is a pretty difficult switch. And if you were to do that, finally he finds the castle. What a funny spot. Yeah, if you do that, I think you have additional problems as well. The Ghulams actually made it in here. And now we have Elite, or what's it called? See, I think... Oh, it's Armored Elephant first and then Siege Elephant second. Okay. So this is basically their equivalent to Siege Ram. It's on the way. It is a bit stronger than Siege Elephants, but... Or Siege Ram, sorry, but is more expensive. Yeah, man, the Hindustanis. The Hindustanis and the Gurjaras and the Chinese, all 3 of those civilizations have had great win rates. They've all been banned a lot. But I have seen the Gurjaras and the Hindustanis dominate civilizations that usually do not get dominated very frequently so far during TTL. Les knew what type of game this was going to be, though. He placed the castles in positions that wouldn't end the game, but it would just put him in a good spot. And he also got those relics real early and has expanded his economy to all the extra golds. He'll go for another Ghulam raid. This one seems very over right now for Bro. I don't think Chukunu would really be the option. I just think that Les was too far ahead early in Castle Age, and then he's got more options and really needed... I think the crossbow play needed to break Villese or do more damage to Villese because the crossbows don't really feel the greatest in the long run. And Bro, I think, was able to delay the Siege Workshop, kill 1 villager, and that was basically it. And yeah, dominant play for Villese. Hindustanis looked good, but he looked better. He wins the first game. Sick. Okay, so finally we see Turks again. We'll switch Bro to red. And we have the Desert Arena. And we have an interesting map, Jen. Someone tell me what that mini-map looks like right now. But game 1 didn't work out for Bro. He's gone for the Burgundians. This is a common pick. We've seen Burgundians, Bohemians, Poles, a lot on Arena. And, of course, the Civ draft will change after the group stage, which might spice things up a lot. But for now, the drafts are the same every time. Players have been able to see what's working and what's not. But, man, why on earth have we not seen more Turks? I mean, we have seen Turks on occasion, don't get me wrong. But Turks, before this tourney, were always seen as in that top 5 conversation with Arena. So this is Bro's home map. He is a pretty good Arena player. And so he must have seen this map as a map where he could perform well against Villese. He will have the eco upgrades an age earlier, which is awesome. And so many bonuses to talk about. And then the Turks, their eco isn't as strong, but they do mine gold a bit faster, and I think it's their units. If this gets to Hussar, Bombard Cannon, Bombard Towers, and Cav Archers, there's not a lot of the Burgundians can do. And I think in particular, it's all about the Cav Archers, because Burgundians do not do well with skirmishers. They lack the final armor. I guess the attacks there, that's all right. There's not a lot of civs that can really deal with the Turks if they can get to Hussar Cav Archer. 100 HP Cav Archers, tons of damage, full upgrades on them, plus the extra HP, of course, with Sipahi. And then the Hussar upgrade being free, chemistry kicking in for free and imp is also really strong. But yeah, again, like I'm a little surprised, especially with the meta being fighting for relics with Light Cav. You get the Light Cav upgrade for free. I thought we'd see more Turks, so happy to see it back. I've started to Turk fast imp at 900 elo and can't be stopped. I feel like such a clown. Dude, I remember those days for me too. Fast imping with Turks, it's not really a thing at a high level because you lack so much economy, but it used to be a thing at a high level even a couple years back, and I remember learning that. Fun strategy, highly recommend. Also, I'm going to call you Sid. Thanks for the sub earlier. Sorry I didn't give you a shout out on that one. You see a Triceratops. I can kind of see what you mean by Triceratops. It's a bit of a stretch. But yes, a slightly deformed Triceratops. Okay, twin Pac-Man is what you're saying. Ah, yes. I see it. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. Did you ever play Pac-Man, the computer version? There's probably a million of them, but I have distinct memories. So we would go over to my granny's house after church. I was probably like 10, okay? And I would go on her computer and play games after we ate, because adult talk is boring. And I'd play Pac-Man, and it was like, it was animated, obviously, but I'm trying to describe it. It was really cool because it wasn't, the old graphics. It was like the quote-unquote new graphics, and you'd kind of run around. Like, it felt like a normal video game. You guys know what I'm talking about? Not the old, ancient graphics of Pac-Man. I don't know what it's called. Again, it's been forever, and I think, I think I only played it at her house. I don't think I actually had it on my own computer. I don't know if there's a name for it, but I have distinct memories of playing that. Go. 3D platformer. Yeah, something like that. It was fun, man. It was satisfying. I used to always look forward to playing that. You could go Janissaries possibly with the Turks. I think that is a little high risk, high reward here, which Villese is not going to need. I think he's a good overall player. I don't think he needs that high risk here. If anyone's going to go high risk, maybe bro will do it. T90, don't do drugs. Hey, thank you for the advice. But no, it's good to know some people seem to know what I'm talking about. I just wish I knew there was a name. Yeah, he had legs. Yeah, he had little legs, and he would run around. And you would, I forget if there were missions or something. For some reason, my brain is saying there's missions. That's probably incorrect. But yeah, it was like animated run around through the halls or whatever. It's been like what 20 years now maybe, so it's been a while. I'm trying to describe this and this comes back to me. I used to also play games on Pogo. I used to play games on Pogo.com, I think. I used to play like backyard baseball. It's like a wiffle ball game. Play that all the time when I would go over to her house. Anyways, it's arena. We didn't have anything else to talk about. Looks like Villese will click up. Similar build orders. I expect them both to do the same thing. I think this is going to be that scout play. Pac-Man World. Okay, while we have the time, let me pull up my phone and search for this. Pac-Man World. That makes sense. Oh, wait, we got a scout fight. Pac-Man World. I recall it being a disc. Yeah, I think this was it. In my brain, the graphics were so much better. When I look back at it, though, it's crazy how bad it is. It might have been like Pac-Man World 2 or something as well. T90, with your new couch being in, will you partake in a new season of MTV Cribs? Would you stop talking about the couch, man? My couch is fine. All right? Don't need to ask any more questions about the couch. All right, so we'll have a stable. We'll have a blacksmith. And we are going to have, ultimately, scouts in the middle. For Burgundians, their stable upgrades are cheaper, but they will have to research the light cab upgrade. So, possible for Villese to get a little bit of an edge there, as he only has to invest into the scouts. Obviously, Villese has not had any eco upgrades at all yet, and Bro already has them. And Bro will click up, and then also he'll be able to get his wood and his farm upgrade as he's on his way to the next stage. So, always a slight edge here for the Burgundians. There's nothing you can really do about it, except accept it and hope for the best. Oh, I remember that game. Oh, also, you do not want to take these fights if you're Turks unless you know you're going to win. Because you will be getting light cav for free. In the end, Villese, I don't think he'll actually do anything here. Yeah, he's just going to be annoying. And he will run back right now. Bro, rushing the farm upgrade before the wood upgrade's interesting. He knew he was about to seed farms. I don't hate that outlook, but will lack a little bit of wood in theory. Eco looking pretty smooth over here for Villese with more farms. Obviously, some of these were Dark Age farms, but that's pretty standard stuff. Okay. If you have any questions that I missed, now would be the time as we build up towards game number 2. Some players will also heal up that very weak scout. You can see Bro's just waiting for it. It's a safe play. And I think he should probably be running back in a moment. Yo, or why did I say yo, Villese, realizing that this might be sniped, but he will probably heal up as well here. But yeah, he will want to move out freely because he gets light cap for free. Interesting fight. Incoming. It's really risky to be out here trying to engage. I mean, I guess if you have 4 versus 2, it's fine. But pretty big difference. You get, what is it, +1 attack or 2? +2 attack, and then plus 15 HP. Those 2 light cap might not want to take the fight, though, as we see the monastery for Bruh. We see the monastery for Villese. Shouldn't need to be stated as frequently as I state it, but I will continue to do so, because that's the caster's job. Every game is important. $40 per win. And both players, this is their second round, so there's lots of sets to be played. And both players ended up winning their first set. 3-0 for Villese, 2-1 for Bruh, but they're going to want to get as many wins as possible here. No guarantees every set is going to go your way. What aspects of Titans League Arena is different from the original? Not many. We did make the walls 1800 HP, though, instead of 900 HP, which is how it is in ranked. Very clean play from Villese so far, though. Very clean. TC timing. Obviously benefiting from free light cav here, but really controlling the map. And we'll get relic number 1. T90, did you ever play Worms? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I played Worms. Yeah, when my brother came home from college for like a year, I used to play on his computer all the time. Because he had a job during the day, and I was a kid. And so he would say, don't play games on my computer while I'm gone. And I'd say, okay, and I'd play games on his computer. And then eventually he added a password, and I had to get all, oh, what a loser. But no, I remember. And he used to let me play on his computer as well, but it was, you know, when he was supervising. We used to play Serious Sam as well a lot back then. Actually did not play a lot of Age of Empires on his computer. He kind of moved on from that at that stage. Big fight. It's a fight that Villese should be winning, though. He still has more light cav. Obviously, this is a race for the relics. Did Villese notice? I think Villese noticed that the relic's gone, and he tried to get over there, but bruh, gets in front. Dang, that was a great engagement. 1-to-1 KD, but that HP, though. And, oh, no, Villese looped around. Relic, boom. Throws it in there, says, take it. I'm about to die. Take it for our friends and our family. Sneaky light cab over here. Let's see if Bruh can notice this. He does notice it. Another old man has to die for the greed of the nation. And now Villese is protecting this relic. And again, this is how Arena is played in this Civ matchup. We will eventually see transitions. Very well played from Villese there to snipe a weak light cav. He has actually been healing up his light cav. And he has not sent one over here yet. So they're still competing for this relic. Can TTL get a tin division for players 1100 elo? Winner against 10 cents a game? Maybe someday. But obviously, if we were to do divisions below silver, we would, you know, we'd have to do like bronze. And then all the way down. Like, I'm not going to add a tin league if we don't have leagues above that, so. But seriously, a lot of people have said stuff like that. Guys, if you pay attention, go to AoE Zone, keep an eye on Reddit, ask within my Discord. If you want to play in events, oh, the light cav are in! The light cav are in! There's a lot of lower elo events happening, and some really cool stuff. Sometimes team games, 1v1s. I can't cover everything that's happening, but, you know, I'm not saying it so I don't have to do an event, but like it's not like that elo isn't represented. Okay, so I would just say keep an eye on it, and you might meet some new people and have some fun games. So we even do a Discord within my tournament. Sorry, a tournament within my Discord as well occasionally. I think one is ongoing right now or just ended. We've done 6 or 7 seasons maybe. I don't know. I think Villese has out macroed, which is saying something because he's up against the Burgundians. He's just got more farms right now, but he does have 2 relics, will be 3, and he's just trying to prevent it from being 3-2. He really would like to get 4. Okay, little loop-de-loop. Here he goes. And the monks are going to die. Yep, monks go down. Bro can't click that old man, though, and he needs to keep light cav alive. Whoop! Dead man. There you go. Yeah, he needs to make sure that his light cav are alive so he can protect his own monk. Still looking for another monk that may or may not be on the way. Using the market now, which I think is good, because I think he sensed that this wood count's far too high. Normally, you'd want to have more farms with that. Still hoping to get monks. I think maybe Brush should just loop back for a second and heal up. But he disagrees. Here he is. Could get a conversion over top of the wall. Doesn't get it. Usually you don't in that situation, but still making more light cav. Another monk on the way. There's also light cav over here for bro that I think he's forgotten about. Can you cast some of the low elo tourneys during low elo legend days? It's not a bad idea, but it depends, I think, on what's going on. Like right now, hosting this event, it's been tough for me to dedicate a lot of time to plan anything else. But it's not a bad idea for the months where I'm not hosting my own event and covering events. Maybe mix it in every now and then. I just don't want to commit to that and have you guys be disappointed, you know? 74 Villes versus 77. Very good game for Bro so far, as he takes another good fight, and he might actually be able to take this relic. He's also now on the way up, and he's researching Cavalier. So he's going to continue to make Cav. For the Turks, we are going to see a tech switch. Villese will want to go for those Cav archers I mentioned earlier. And another engagement. Another monk will die. No conversion. And with the upgrades now flying in, I think Bro's going to get relic number 4. Really well played. Villese obviously will get Hussar for free, but he'll be under a lot of pressure here, and he also won't have the relics. So, bruh, using Arena to his advantage here, adding the stables. The beauty of Burgundians, guys, is that you can research Cavalier and Castle Age, which means you can click Paladin instantly when you make it to Imp. If you have the gold. The guy just hates gold, apparently. He's barely been on gold in Castle Age, but not bad, not bad. Also, he did make a lot of monks in this game, but getting the full relics in the long run should be worth it, which is why players do it. Yep. Half-price Paladin. Much faster to Imp. This means you could complete Paladin when Villese arrives to Imp, which is crazy. Now, I don't know if he can really kill with it, though, because you would want to have a forward castle and some trebs. But you can tell, as he sells wood for gold, that's what his plan is. And there he goes. Paladin's on the way already. Les massing those Cav Archers. This is not something he's shown bro yet. But bro can see the range, so I'm sure he guesses. And yep, there's a Cav Archer now. You honestly need to be careful if you're Villese with your army right now. You don't want the light cav into your base either. Yeah, good. Oh, good move to run away, because if these units actually get in, they would raid you like crazy. Yes. You know, normally if you're on the back foot, you would want to have the relics. You don't have that, which sucks for bro. Or for Villese. But at the same time, what do you do against 50, 60 heavy Cav Archers if you're Burgundians? I think the fact that the siege is so late, the fact that the castle's so late, I think that this gives Villese a really good opportunity. Plenty of gold to control in the middle of the map. That's kind of funny. Paladin being fast doesn't do anything against walls. Also, the Civ does not have siege ram, so that's a concern. I think it's going to be for bombard cannons. Yeah, Villese is fine. Position's looking better and better for him. He's in the Imperial Age now. Chemistry's free. I don't know if this is a fight you want to take if you're bro. He's going to take it now. He's stuck in here. And so into the Castle Fire he goes. Into the TC Fire. Into the Cav Archer Fire. Cav Archers are genuinely insane here. And we're seeing the benefit of the attack. We haven't even seen the HP make a difference, because he hasn't really been losing units. No! Fast Paladin into Doubt Castle! No way! Now he's got Paladin. I don't know if he's ever going to get this up, guys. He needs to get more support. He wanted to go for ranges. If anything, he went Imp too fast. Imp too fast, because he didn't have the army number and he didn't have the position. He might as well have delayed Imp. So they're two-shotting Paladin right now. And then Burgundian skirmishers are just not normally going to cut it. We also have bomber cannons for Villese. So with bomber cannons, he's able to push down the castle even if it goes up. Again, ideally, you have fast Paladin, fast Trebs, fast forward castle. Instead, it's been fast Paladin, no Trebs, trying to get a castle up. Opponents pushing out from the back. Tons of gold control now for Villese in the middle of the map. Honestly, I think the Paladins are just going to get wrecked. You have 160 HP, whereas other civs would have 180. Or if you're Franks, you know you have a bit more than that. And 40, 50 Cav Archers is just so tough to stop. Going to try now. He's sending more villagers to complete this. Ooh, Villese with some problems. Also, is a bombard cannon inside of this siege workshop. So if I'm bro, I try and run out of here as fast as possible. So you can use it on the castle that we're going to see from his opponent. Yeah, there it is. Went that direction. Paladins are disappearing. Castle may go up. We have the Cav Archers focusing down the Villes. Villese denies the castle again. He now could start to make some Hussars against the skirms as well. Turks are an amazing arena civilization. Their army comp is insane. 100 HP Cav Archers. The castle still won't go up. And the Paladins are doing nothing. Bombard Cannon also will struggle to do much damage against units that are this tanky. And I also have to say, Civ aside, Villese is playing so clean today, man. And when you see a civilization dominating, and I'm talking about how strong it is, it's always associated with a really good player. And that's precisely what we have here. He has not made many mistakes. Obviously, he did get a bit outplayed in the middle. But his economy's looked amazing. He knows this castle is going to be taken out. And he can also take out these buildings. Now, what he probably would need to do is you probably need to get hussars out. But you don't even need hussars because the armor upgrades aren't in for the skirms. So you'll see how fast these skirmishers are going to die. The cav archers, they don't care. Not a big deal at all. And if it is going to be a big deal, you have the stables for the hussars. This is ridiculous. 113 kills, 41 deaths. But again, which composition is better? Let's say they do a 50-minute no-attack game. Who is the best composition with these civs? I think the answer is Turks. So some people are going to make the argument that Bro having the relics should not have tried to open up so offensively. But it's not like the relics are the only way to get gold, guys. There's thousands and thousands of gold in the map. I kind of like the idea that he was going for, but he wasn't able to get the snowball to really do anything for him because he didn't have siege. Yeah, this is just not a composition you can stop. I think it's now at a point where you need to have more numbers because the type of unit isn't going to work for you. You need to have more than their 66 military from Villese. You need to have like 80 or 90. Also, would love to see artillery, which would give the bomber cannons for Turks 12+2 range. Haven't seen that big death ball of paladins yet because these units just continue to get chewed up. Here we go. Hussar upgrades coming in. Paladins going to engage. Bomber cannons hitting the skirms. Paladin's going to melt. It is 133 eco for Bruh. I'm thinking maybe there's a world where he could consider the revolution in this game. Oh, man. He sacrificed so much. Hasn't even taken out all the bomber cannons. If they both continue to make the armies they're making right now, I do not see how Bro lasts this game. These cav archers are nuts, man. He's trying. He's got a lot of production. He's trying to take fights. He's got skirms in queue. He's got plenty of paladins in queue. But now you start to see Villese raiding the outer golds because he's controlling the map. And Villese, so far, undefeated in T90 Titans League. Won 3-0 against Barles. Now up 2-0 over Bruh. Looking very, very strong, man. And also, why have we not seen more Turks on Arena? Like, we've seen all these Bohemian Burgundian matchups. If people think Burgundians are that OP, I honestly think Turks can compete. There is a window there for Bruh. The fast paladin, on paper, very strong. But you have to be pushing the Turk player, I feel. And he just didn't have anything to really match with it. And yeah, he could have added the ranges a little bit earlier. Obviously, the castle was poorly timed. But even still, man. Liz made that look very easy. Clinical the whole way through. Over 100 more kills there. And you can see economically, Bro collected more resources. But Villese actually had more stone and gold. And all right, here we are, game number 3. So if Bro's able to get a win, at the end, I think he's feeling pretty good. Because on paper, he will have played Yo. He will have played Villese. And he will be at 3 victories. Which, if you would have asked him before everything started, I'm sure he would be pretty happy with that. Now, I did say that Bro was probably one of the favorites to get relegated out of this group. Some people disagreed with me. There were a couple Brazilian guys who were very nice, who were like, hey, we don't like that. I get that. But we'll see what he can do here. Wait a second. Going forward with a villager. Wait, what? Keep in mind, he knew that Villese would pick Berbers because this is Jungle Swamp. Jungle Swamp are known. That's very common, to see this Civ. Berbers in a normal game where there's not hunt all over the map are definitely the mid-game favorite. I think he's going to use this villager to try and lame some of the hunt. Because I don't think he was looking to dock the water. Interesting. Needs to make sure that he can have food underneath his TC, though. I think that llama's probably on the way back, and so is that one. Okay. Hunting for the enemy. Doesn't know where to go or where the enemy is right now. Okay, he sees the trees now. And it's not every day that you actually see the Mongols get lamed. But I guess it does make sense. So far, Villese doesn't really seem to care about any of this. Villese has already pushed in 4 deer, so he's eating away. He'll scout for some of his resources. There's going to be 2 boars as well. And there's deer all over the map. So I think all that laming does is it forces Villese further away for the hunt later on. But I'm not really sure that Villese... I mean, okay, this is a good spot. But I'm not sure Villese is going to be affected by it at the start, right? You think of when laming can have an effect, it's normally Dark Age and early Feudal. Mid-Feudal, at that point, if you get to a healthy position, I think you're going to be okay. I think you're going to be okay, but if you get the boar, my opinion might change. Dang. Okay, so Villese has scouted that one. He must know something's up, because the deer are dead now in the fog. What you can't tell sometimes is if this thing's being attacked. You see how it's like, I want to kill you, and then it stops. I want to kill you, and then it stops. That's not easy to see. What you will see is a change in the fog when it dies, and then suddenly you confirmed, if you didn't already know, that there's a villager around. So that is 340 food. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, wait. Oh my god, this is hilarious. So he's going to kill it with the scout. What a play. Okay, so that's not the first time I've seen this. I think I saw it originally by Rubenstock this year in a team game tourney. It's super intelligent, and that's a new thing, guys. People have not really done that over the years because people picked up on the fact that if you kill it with a military unit, you cannot take food from it. So, you know, otherwise if you kill with a villager, the food's just there, and someone has to run out there and can still pick it up. Dang. Honestly, no! It was going so good. I was just about to say, honestly, this has been the perfect lame so far. And then he lost his scout. And that's not good at all, man. That's not good at all. He can't push in any deer. Yes, he's got the faster villagers, but man, having a scout is so nice. Anyways, Villese is going to click up. He hasn't seemed too bothered by the fact that this villager's over here. He's just accepted it's a fast villager. And it is what it is at this point. He sees the Vill there. And he will click up pretty quickly here as well. Now he's off to find the enemy. And also, I noticed that bro had 50 seconds of TC idle time. That's a villager and a half that he's behind due to that. Is it worth it to lame the Mongols on a map where there's still going to be tons of hunt? That's the question. We now have 2 villagers from bro. So he's looking to Vill fight. And, I mean, Villese is going to come home. And Villese will be happy to see the villagers now. Because once he's in feudal age, his scout's going to get all that attack and speed. I don't think Villese was expecting there to be 2 Vills. Probably doesn't want to fight that off. But he adds the stable, and bro still hasn't clicked up. Am I missing something? Did he not take a boar? Oh, wait, is that his boar? I think that's his boar. Why is that so far? Guys, I think he's dead. Oh, lame into GG. He didn't have a boar because he didn't scout the map at his base. I mean, he could take that with Berbers, no problem. Obviously, I have to go back and look. That seems really far. Like, that is probably 10 tiles further than what you would want. This is where I could see it being, in all fairness, right? In all fairness, I could see it being here, and he still wouldn't have the scout for it. It's on a wall now. I don't know why he sent Vills for it. Does anyone know where those villagers even went? Did they come home now? This is very weird. And meanwhile, like, again, what is Villese going to do? He's just going to scout more hunt because there's hunt all over the map, and he's just still going to place mills on it. Bruh. He's lamed by himself for not scouting the map. Oh, there's a deer coming into your TC, though. Shoot it. Yeah. Dude, you got to click up here, my friend. 50 seconds of TC idle time is so bad in the Dark Age, and then it ended up being 90 seconds. But yeah, this is something we'll have to take a look at for sure. I don't know. It does feel like if you actually scouted, you would be fine. And oh god. Oh man. The scouts just run right underneath the TC because there's no vills there. Villese, he's happily taking hunt all over the map. It's not a problem for him. No boar, no problem. We'll kill another vill. I say another, that's actually his first. But this eco is barely working, man. I don't know, like, high risk, high reward, right? You go for the lame. Obviously, the boar thing really set him back. You hope when you lame that you're going to find all your resources. You hope when you lame that your opponent's going to falter a bit because their build is ruined. But look at Villese. Does this look like a player who's faltering at all? Not to me. Go in and kill another villain. Bro calls the GG. Geez, you never want to see games like that. But let's look back for a second at the start. Okay. Honestly, we have to take a look at this. We've seen a lot of jungle swamp games. I've never seen anything like this. This boar is really far away. Like, there's a very big difference between this boar spawn. Look, TC. Let's just do this. We go to the TC, and then what can we see? Obviously, you can't see it because of the scoreboard. But that's like, I don't know how to explain this in tiles. But that's really close. And then this is kind of like, you do the same thing. You've got to scroll like way over to see that boar. And then this, you've got to scroll way over and see this boar. This is a bugged map. I'll talk to the players and talk to Robo and we'll see what happens. But everything I said was true, that you take that risk when you lame. But even without a lame, those boar, it's like double the distance. That's got to be addressed. We don't want that to happen again. Very weird. Very, very weird. So the boars were there. And then they were far. And then it was compiled by the fact that he went forward and he went for lames. So these games are already played. You know, the results already in. These were played like a couple hours ago. I don't know if Bro had a conversation with Robo about it. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. But we'll at least look at the map script and make sure this doesn't happen again. We'll pass that along to the team. I don't know. At the end of the day, so let's just think about what the uptime would normally be if you get the boars, right? So let's say it's going to be like maybe 9, 10. I still think Villese is totally fine after that, right? He takes more hunt, he makes scouts, but at least, like, you know, Villese has to maybe possibly earn it a little bit more. 2 villagers forward might have been a result of him not being up yet. But I don't agree with this strategy as a whole, I guess, even though the lane was pretty successful. So GG's there to Villese. He's up 6-0 in Group B. So he and Hera are at the top in that group. Bruh will have to play, Bruh and Villese, sorry, will have to play round 3 over the next couple days. I think Villese and Hera is next, which will be really good. Really good. The 2 6-0 players facing up against each other. And then I do not recall who Bro plays in his group, having already played Yo. I think it would be Dragonstar or Barrels. And, of course, I'll cover that. If I have the time, I'm sure I will. I've covered almost everything so far. So